Salutations, sleuths. I'm Gina.
I'm Maria.
And we are
Fortuitous.
Boom!
And we're live. Oh, maybe I won't put my bare feet up there. Okay.
Yeah, those dogs.
The dogs.
And all those photos that we were taking. And I didn't even notice it until
so
Jess pointed it out. She's like, Gina with them dogs out.
With them dogs.
Tell me that now after we've taken...
With the D-A-W-G. Them
minutes.
dogs. I know, and then you go back and look at the photos and like I have my like really sparkly boots on and you got rocking the toenails.
I'm letting them out.
Yeah.
The world saw them.
Spread toed and all.
Felt good though. That was free.
Yeah.
You know what? Why do people only wear black on New Year's? I know it's not an official thing, but you have to say it was pretty blunt. That's the thing.
Well, especially like at our party, right? Because you were the only one that was like in white, minus the boys.
And then I'm looking at photos of my friends. Like
a lot of people are in black. Yeah,
black is the thing. I don't know if that's just become a thing, if it is a thing, and I don't know it. Whatever. But I was looking around, and it was someone pointed it out to me. They were like, "Oh, Gina wearing the white, acting like a bride," and I'm like, I didn't even think about it, but yeah, like let's bring back white for New Year's.
Well, I think I've seen like white, black, silver, and gold. Those are the
Silver
four colors
gold,
that
yes.
I typically see.
I never see white. No, I don't see white.
Really? I
Yeah.
guess I see like a shimmery silver white. So,
and you know what's funny is I was going to wear black actually, which is hilarious.
And why'd you change your mind?
The black would have required more effort. The white was just like jeans and a cute shirt, where the black I was going to wear like a blazer and my bad bitch pants with my black booties. All black. It was going to be all black.
Oh, you should have done that.
Yeah, but that was a lot of effort.
Not really. Jeans, shirt, trousers, shirt. You add the blazer. You had a jacket.
It was effort internally, like in your soul.
For black?
Yeah. No. To wear the level of
boss
bitch.
So emotionally you couldn't.
I was never going to match that. I was going to look at it. I wasn't going to match it. I didn't feel too great, so I was like, I'm just going to chill this year. And
Fair.
Anyways, what are we talking about? Why are we here?
We are talking about shooting for rejection.
All right, you're going to have to...
Aim for rejection. Kind of like, okay, like if you want another New Year's resolution idea, or if not, it's, you know, some food for thought, something to think about. I've had it on my list for like a really long time, and then it keeps kind of popping up. So I'm like, you know what, let's just go ahead and look into it and do it. But what I had on my list was rejection theory, because that's what I thought I saw, but it's not. It's rejection therapy.
I don't even... Can you explain this, please?
Yes, yeah. That's the whole point of the episode. So rejection therapy is kind of like exposure therapy, where like, you know, the people with phobias of like, let's say arachnophobia, they expose themselves to like a picture of a spider and then like a spider behind glass.
I already want to guess. Can I take a guess?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Rejection therapy is the same thing as exposure therapy.
You're saying to just be a little rejected here and there so it's not so bad?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. To purposely get rejected so that you build a resilience or intolerance to people saying no.
I already have a box full in my imaginary, you know, thought here of all the different things I want to say about this.
Already?
Yeah.
But I mean, what are you waiting for? Why keep them in the box? Oh my gosh. And I feel like you already kind of do it, at least like with me, because you're always like calling me at random times, hey, you want to do this? Hey, you want to do that? And the answer, like 99% of the time is no, but it doesn't stop you. It doesn't deter you. You still do it. So you're already kind of do it in some ways.
Well, yours is different. It's like I'm gonna do it anyways, but it'd be fun if it was with a friend, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, will you do it? No, okay, I'm not missing out on anything. It's not like I'm not gonna go because you said no, I'm still gonna go. But I'm thinking of friends, guy friends specifically, that haven't been turned down enough.
No.
And when they do get turned down, it is the end of the world. They're a little pussyfoot. Like,
ego is crushed.
oh my god. And I can't imagine, because turned to tables, I have never really been rejected.
A lot of times women don't get rejected. I mean, that's women privilege, right?
Well, I'm going to take that back. I have been rejected, but in a weird mind game kind of way.
By a man?
Yeah, a few.
Playing mind games?
Guys, have you ever heard of Omegle? Omegle?
Is that the word thing?
I think no, it's like a video camera. Kids should not be on this.
Because you talk to random people.
Yes, you see
I have seen
things.
Yeah, no, that's scary. I don't want to do it.
I was on Omegle when I was probably like 12 years old.
Jesus.
And I was with my friend, and we were in her basement. We're on the computer. And this guy, who we don't see his face, it's a black screen.
Jesus.
And yeah, with like a drawing of a face. I'm just to paint a picture here. I remember it vividly. And he was talking to us by drawing things.
Oh, hell no.
And why
No.
did we not just move on? I don't know. Curiosity killed the cat, honestly. We stuck around. We were these two little 12-year-old girls. And he puts a circle around her, puts a thumbs up, or like a check mark, puts a circle around me, and an X over my face. And I'm like, can we move on, please? That was rejection of my 12-year-old face by a man I never saw the face of on Omegle. Let that sink in. Yeah.
So trauma started at 12.
Yes. Well, then, if you're at a bar and you shoot your shot and get a couple guys some shots, and there's two options. Which way's worse? Would you rather, okay?
Let's do it.
Give some shots to a guy and then look at it and be like, no, or then take the shots and then peace the fuck out? Which one do you want?
Are you going to take the shots if they say no? Like, will you take the shots back?
Yeah. Hell yeah, they're my shots. I paid for them.
Yeah, then I would rather them just say no to the shots, and then I at least have the shots to, like, drown my sorrows.
Yeah. I think it's worse, and you know what's funny? The irony in it is that all bitches, all us hoes, and I say that because I'm one of them, I get to do that, where we will take the shot.
We'll take the free drink, and then, move on.
Yeah, move on. And I don't know, that definitely fucking hurts, because I got these guys a shot one time, like, back in the college days, and yeah, they took them, and then they all were like, all right, let's get out of here. And I'm like, okay, I'm cute, okay? I'm funny.
You're married.
That's right.
But yeah, so those are some examples specifically for, like, relationships. This is for... These are for... What was I fucking saying? God bless!
I'm so sorry.
All right, so...
You're gonna get a few of those, by the way. I'm sorry, I'm sick, guys.
So those examples were, like, specifically around, like, relationships and dating, which, yeah, you can shoot your shot, which this is essentially what it is shooting your shot. But for anything and everything, it does not have to be for, like, asking someone out. It can be for literally anything.
Oh, okay.
So the whole point is just to desensitize yourself to rejection. So that way you don't not do something because you're scared that it's going to be a no or they're going to deny you or whatever.
Like interviews,
jobs, bucket list, to get a picture with an Olympic athlete, Colleen Quigley. Specific example.
Personal.
Yeah. Well, because I was doing the research on this, and my sister and I, we run the Frostbite series, and an Olympic athlete, Colleen Quigley, she grew up in St. Louis, and so she comes back every year for Christmas, and she runs at least one race in the series. And I saw her this year, and I follow her, love her, shout out, and she was there, and after the race, she usually kind of hangs out for a while, right? So normally... prior to doing this research, I probably would have just, like, admired her from afar and not have done anything. But I did this, and I was like, you know what? Why the fuck not? So I approached her.
You shot your shot.
I shot my shit. How do you say you shoot your shot in past tense? I shot my shot. Yeah. And we had a conversation, and then we got a picture with her and my sister. But she could have very easily said no.
Yeah, she looked like a really cool chick.
She's nice. She's really genuine. I like following her because she's not like their typical social media influencer in my eyes. So, like, I've already kind of been practicing this while looking into it. Shoot your shot. And I have a great experience out of it. So it's like, how many of those experiences are people missing out on because they're scared or shy or something, right? Mm-hmm. And honestly, it was like really liberating to do it. It's very like empowering. Like, holy shit, yeah.
I think that a part of it is like, what do you have to lose? And people can go through their long, not really
pros and cons,
very short list of what you have to lose. 1, ego. Ego was crushed a little bit. But what else? I don't know what else there is.
You get over it. It's just a little bruise. It will heal.
Yeah. And now being told no X amount of times, that's why it's called rejection or exposure therapy.
You grow from it.
Yeah, in doses, Maybe if you've had a few no's, take a break. Understandable. But, yeah, I think that's definitely something cool. You got to go for it.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Cute. Love it.
Michael Scott, Wayne Gretzky. Do you not watch The Office?
I do, absolutely.
Okay, all right, so you got it.
Yes.
Okay. So there's this one guy. His name is Jia Jiang. He has a TED Talk out there, and this is what kind of like inspired me. He did 100 days of rejection. I don't know if they were back to back, but he did 100 total days of rejection. He was an entrepreneur trying to get into like the tech industry, and his biggest kryptonite, his biggest fear was like rejection. And as an entrepreneur, you're going to get a lot of no's. And so he was like, what can I do to actually put myself out there? And so he went on like, I guess like the internet, and he asked the internet like, okay, what can I do to get over my fear of no? And I guess the dating website was like, oh, there's this thing called Rejection Therapy. And I think they cater it specifically towards like just dating, right? But you do 30 days of it. And he was thinking, well, 30 days, that's not enough. Like, I want to OD on rejection. So let's do 100.
Okay.
Go big or go home. Shoot for the stars or shoot for the moon. Land amongst the stars. So he did 100 days of rejection. He has a really awesome TED Talk out there. Like, he's actually a very entertaining speaker. He's really funny, very articulate, and he's just fun to watch. So you don't feel like you're watching like a TED Talk. Mm-hmm. And he's the best-selling author of a book called Rejection Proof. But he also has like little miniature like videos of each day that he did the rejection exercise.
Oh.
So those were like really fun to watch. I didn't watch all 100, but I watched like a handful of them.
You had a good time watching someone get told no to? That's my girl. Love getting off on that stuff.
No, but it's just like he's just like this really cute man, and he's so sweet and he's innocent. Like, highly recommend watching some of them. I will link the website that has all of them, and then yeah, you can YouTube the TED Talk.
Okay.
But they're actually like really funny, and they're inspiring. Because guess what? He doesn't get all no's. He does get some yeses, and then you're like rooting for the guy.
Well, what did he get? What was he trying to do again?
So he was trying to get over his fear of rejection.
Right, but what was he? Was he doing interviews, or what was the?
We'll get into the different things that he did.
Okay.
So he had some.
So it wasn't one said thing.
No, it's a whole hodgepodge mix of stuff.
Okay.
And the whole purpose of it was to think of like something outlandish that would very seemingly obviously get you a no. And then what's crazy is that he did get yeses.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they're all like really fun and kind of interesting. And let's see here. Yeah, so he says, quote, turn rejection into opportunity. Raise your resilience to match your ambition. So let's say you're very ambitious, but you're not resilient to rejection. Like you have that disconnect. You have all this ambition, but you're too scared to actually go for it. Mm-hmm. So that's where he's like, okay, elevate your resilience.
Would you categorize these in the same Would you put these in the same category? Rejection and failure.
I think they could go hand in hand.
Yeah, because I've had plenty of failure exposure.
Well, I've had plenty of times where I didn't do something because I was afraid of failure.
Wow. Okay. I see what you said. But would you say that failing is the equivalent of rejection?
Not always, no. I think it depends on the situation.
Like, example, you get turned down at a interview. Do you think that's a failure?
No. Then okay. That's a rejection.
Yeah.
You can, I guess that's where you add perspective. You can see it as a failure, but I wouldn't call it a failure.
Or, because I don't know, I think in that case, that was a bad example. I would not think of that as a failure either. Or failing a test, because it's literally failing a test.
Yeah.
But would you take that as a fail?
Only if you, like, those test scores then got you rejected to going into another school. Then you failed and rejected. But I wouldn't, if you got 1 F on a test, that's not a rejection, that's a failure.
Yeah.
So, like, they can go hand in hand.
But we're agreeing they're not the same.
They're not the same.
Yeah, all right.
And he goes on to say that you don't have to be born with great talent or with all of these assets. Like, all you need is courage to face your fear. Even in the face of rejection, if you don't give up, you will get it. Mm-hmm. I said, he's a TED Talk, so he's pretty inspiring. It's one of those where, like, you know, if you're watching it, then you get, like, sucked into it and you get super motivated.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see here. Another thing that, like, a learning lesson that he had as he was going through this was, like, so in his very first attempt, he got a no, and then he just stopped right away, which is, like, what a lot of people do, is they get the first no, and then they don't pursue it any further. But as he goes on, then he starts kind of challenging it and asking again, like, he doesn't give up after the first no. And
is it with the same what's the scenario? Do you have the scenario here on this one?
So the very first day, his first challenge was borrow $100 from a stranger. That was his challenge.
Okay.
Again, he's looking for no's. He wants people to say no.
That is outlandish.
That's outlandish. And so he's at a mall, and it's funny because he wears, like, hidden camera on all of these. And I'm sure he had to get, like, permission afterwards. But so, like, no one knows that he's, like, right? He's not carrying the phone like a lot of people do nowadays. It's hidden camera. So he goes up to the security guard at a mall, and he's like, you know, excuse me, sir. And he's like, what? And he's like, can I borrow $100? And the security guard, like, kind of laughs. And he's like, no. And then he's like, okay. And then he just moves on. So he doesn't try to, like, keep asking for it or trying other ways or getting creative with his ask. Whereas, like, the second day, let me get to the list here. The rejection 2 was request a quote-unquote burger refill. So he went to Five Guys and he ate a burger, and then he takes the wrapper back up to the front and he's like, can I get a burger refill on this? And then they laugh and they're like, no, we don't do that here. And then he was like, oh, well, why not? And then they were like, because we don't do that. And then he was like, well, you do it with the drinks. Why don't you do it with the burgers? So he keeps kind of, like, pushing it, right? And then they were like, well, because we don't do that here. You know, you can get the free drink, but you can't get it.
Also, if I were the employee, I would have been like, bro, fuck off. I don't get paid enough for this shit. Take the rules and accept them.
And that's where, like I said, I didn't watch all of them. I tried to watch as many as I could before tonight. But, like, a lot of, like, the retail workers or the people that he asked, like, they were really pretty nice about it. No one was like, fuck off. Yeah. And again, like, I don't know when he did this, what year it was. I think it was probably pre-COVID. Because it seems like during COVID, people got really mean.
COVID changed people. People stopped giving fucks.
Yeah. And they lost all their goddamn manners.
Yeah, it's true.
And politeness. Because, like, nowadays, I feel like I would be more scared to, like... I would be afraid that, like, people would be, like, so mean to me if I tried to do this stuff. But, like, a lot of these people that were working, like, were pretty, like, lighthearted about it. So that was also, like, you know, kind of fun to watch. But he had 3 criteria or 3 rules when he was doing this. 1, had to be ethical. So there was no lying and, like, nothing illegal. which was number 2, legal. And then 3, it doesn't defy the law of physics, which I don't know what he could do to defy the law of physics, but that was one of the criteria. And then he points out that he is 100% prepared to do said request should someone say yes. So if they say yes, then he's going to follow through with it, regardless of how outlandish it is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So he says, quote, "I am on a journey to become a great entrepreneur, drinking the smoothie blended with Steve Jobs' charisma, Chris Gardner's tenacity, Paul Graham's judgment, and Bill Gates' ruthlessness, Warren Buffett's longevity, and Mark Zuckerberg's vision, parentheses, or luck. However, since I'm not born with most of these traits, I need to acquire them through exercise one by one."
Wow. That was beautiful.
I know. I like that smoothie blended with all of these, obviously very successful people. Mm-hmm. And then he goes on to say, "To start, I'm tackling the low-hanging fruit first. One thing I know for sure is that, like most of you, I'm terrified of rejection. Not in a romantic sense, as I am extremely happily married. However, I hate being judged and rejected in a business setting, whether it's being turned down when making a sell or getting blasted after a pitch. I hate it. I hate it like Michelle Obama hates sleeves."
Sleeves?
Sleeves. Because she's always in sleeveless tops. I don't know if you've noticed.
I've never noticed
that. Cracked my shit up so hard. And then he goes on to explain...
Observant.
Say what?
Very observant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's got the arms to wear the sleeveless,
yeah,
so
she looks
why
great.
not? Yeah. But yeah, it tickled my funny bone. And then he goes on to explain how, I guess he did post the question to a dating forum, and they suggested the rejection therapy for 30 days, and he decided he's going to do it for 100 days.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Why not? I mean,
why not?
What's 30 days if you can do 100?
Yeah, just more than 3 times it. And like I said, I don't know if they were consecutive or if it was like a day here, a day there, and it was like 100 days within like the span of a year.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what his day job was. I mean, he was trying to become an entrepreneur. So like, what is this his day job?
Right. I don't know how much further or intense it gets. I guess you'll get into it. But those first couple, it's like, oh, I'm just going to
You're just out and about. Yeah. And I think, like, some of them, like, he, like, was out and about and he saw an opportunity and did it. And then some he thought of ahead of time. And then some he got, like, from the internet, some ideas.
Okay.
Because he went pretty viral with this. And then he was getting a bunch of ideas left and right on what to do.
I want to know more. And
Yeah.
I'm going to get to it.
I'm going to get to it. So, day 3, rejection 3, ask for Olympic symbol donuts.
What?
Ask for donuts in the Olympic symbol. And then he did get a yes for this. And not only did he get a yes, but they also gave the donuts to him for free.
What?
Well, because it was such like an odd request. Or like such a like, I don't know, fun request that they put it in the Olympic symbol. And then they were like, oh, it's on the house.
Okay, that doesn't make, whatever. That's more work for them. I would have been like...
It's literally just, there's a picture of it, and it's literally like you don't make a whole like one donut in the shape of the Olympic symbol. They literally just took like the 3 donuts and the 2 donuts and like, put them together, and they were different colors. And
don't they overlap?
I mean, like a little bit, right? But
okay.
And they just put it in that shape. It was literally no more work than like putting 6 in a box.
Because then you got to cut out the section.
They didn't do it perfectly.
Okay.
You're getting too hung up on the details. Anyway, he got a yes on that. Rejection number 4, deliver pizza for Domino's. I don't have all the details for all of them, so I don't have
like he delivered.
Like he was asking if he could deliver pizza for Domino's, be the delivery driver.
Okay.
Rejection 5, he wanted to have a tour in a grocery store warehouse, which I don't see, like, why not?
Yeah, a safety hazard. No, you can't just go back there.
Rejection number 6, play soccer in someone's backyard.
Okay.
Let me see if I click on these. He does give, like, high-level overview. It pulls up the video, and then he, like, does, I guess, like, a blog also with his vlog.
Can we watch one of them right now?
No, because we have the the mic thing set up, so it
okay.
won't play it. I mean, we can watch him afterwards. But he says that he remembers like kicking a soccer ball around like a bunch of times in like someone else's backyard, like when you were kids and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had this deathly fear of like knocking on the stranger's door to retrieve the ball should it go into like someone else's yard. Like he was like too scared. I guess he was really shy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he wanted to get rid of that nightmare like once and for all. And so he wore his hidden camera, and then he knocked on some random dude's house asking to play soccer in his backyard. And then he says the result was a huge surprise. Are you not telling us the result? I guess they said yes. He says, learning, I found that when making a crazy request like this, confidence is important, and the other person can sense it immediately. If I give the aura that I know what I'm doing, the chance of being accepted is much higher, and he might just say yes, because it's so off the wall, how can I say no to that? I think he got a yes from it.
Okay.
Number 7, speak over Costco's intercom. So I did watch this one. And he is a massive fan of Costco, says he spends thousands of dollars every year at Costco. Big fan. And he is a proud member. And he wanted to be able to tell the people just how much he loved Costco. So while he was there, he asked one of the managers if he could speak over the intercom. And first they were like, well, no, we don't even have an intercom. But it's like, well, everyone has heard, like, oh, store is closing in 5 minutes, so surely they have to have something that they can announce something over, right? The manager was adamant that they don't have an intercom, because they were like, you know, if we did have an intercom, like, we would let you. But they were saying that they didn't have the intercom. With this one, he was, like, pretty, like, persistent on. Like, he was trying to get, like, creative, because he was like, well, then how do the employees talk to each other? The manager's like, well, we have our radios. And then he was like, well, can I speak on your radio? And then they were like, well, no, it's a clothesline or whatever, right? You know, it's a safety thing. We can't have members speaking to the employees on the radio. I don't know. The manager had an excuse for just about like anything that he came up with. But the manager was like a good sport about it and was like, you know, hey, I'm sorry, but, you know, it's a no. It's not going to happen. If we had an intercom, then I would be the first person to let you do it. Trust me. And he was like, why don't you have whatever you want for lunch on me? So the manager bought him a lunch.
Call it perspective, but the way I see that is this nice, kind man who doesn't want to lose his high-paying buyer is going to just do whatever it takes to make him shut the fuck up. But you know what? Good for him. He got something out of it.
And these are like raw, genuine reactions from the people he approaches, right? Because he's wearing a hidden camera, so they don't know. It's not like he's holding it up like you do nowadays. Sure. And you know, when you know that you're being recorded, you're more polite or what have you. These are like hidden cameras. And he said that he knew the chance of getting a yes was astronomically low, since the manager didn't want to lose his job over a crazy request. And even though he tried really hard to negotiate and even showed like his membership card so that he knew that he was like sincere, he said, in the end, Costco is good at making its customers happy. When they say no, but then feed you, they know your mouth would be too busy chewing instead of saying bad things about them.
Yeah, Costco's pretty smart.
Yeah, and then he has a learning from each rejection. Okay. And he said the learning on this one was, no could be tough to swallow, but pizza and hot dog aren't.
Cute.
Yeah, and then he said, like, you know, a sure way to gain loyal fans is to make a concession while giving a rejection. So, like, to make them, to not lose a customer or a fan or whatever, like, if there's no way that you can say yes to them, you have to say no, but then trade it off with something else. Okay. Say, like, the free food or something. Okay. Day 8 was get a #1 spot in Best Buy's Thanksgiving line, which I would not want to do.
Say that again?
Get the #1 spot in Best Buy's Thanksgiving line.
I don't know what that is.
Like, be first in line for, I guess it's Black Friday.
Okay.
So yeah, get in line for 5 hours hoping to grab 80% discount on a laptop. However, I bet you've never been number one in line before, have you? Do you know how it feels to be number one? Do you know what it takes? No, I don't have what it takes, but I tried to acquire the spot instead. It's the beauty of rejection therapy. If I get a yes, then I get an 80-inch TV for $100. If I get a no, then it's the musical sound of success.
So he was just asking people if he could move up in front of them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I guess he was like not going to wait in line. Mm-hmm. And so the line had already begun. And this was definitely had to be before like pre-COVID when like Black Friday, that was the only day that you could get the deals.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
And it was do or die.
People died, actually.
We actually remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
Weird
they
times.
Got stampeded. Yeah. Definitely weird times. So now it's, Black Friday week.
Black Friday month, honestly.
Yeah, actually. And then he said that he was confident that he could at least carry a conversation with the number one guy, but when the number two guy jumped in pointing at the rules on the wall, the battle was lost. So I guess the guy that was number one was sounding like he was getting ready to let him, and then the guy behind him was like, no, rules.
Rules?
I guess like you can't jump the line. I don't know.
Okay.
Or you can't hold the spot for someone.
Oh.
So some twat waffle was like, rules.
I don't blame a man for waiting in line for 5
If he
years.
had waited for like, yeah. That's like when we go to the fucking airport and like it's early ass morning or whatever time it is. It's always miserable at the airport, right?
Yes.
And Vic and I, we have waited through the security line, TSA line for fucking ever. And then there was one time a family of 5 showed up. And they're not like young kids. These are all grown ass fucking adults. They show up and they try to get in front of Vic and I to go with the couple that's in front of us. And we're like, oh, hell no.
I bet you no. Did you said something?
We were like, no, if you want to bring in those 5 people, then we are taking your spot and you go behind us and you can deal with the people behind us.
Yeah.
So we went in front of them.
Oh.
And then I have no idea what happened with the rest. I don't know if the people behind us were just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Because, you don't want to start shit at the airport.
Yeah.
But I was like, we had a flight to make. Like, we didn't give ourselves enough cushion. Mm-hmm. So we're like, there's no way.
There were 2, you said there were 2 people in line and they were trying to allow like 3 more or 5 more?
5 more.
Yeah. No. Especially because it's not like you're in a grocery line where you're like waiting to get run your food and one person runs and just grabs one more thing.
Yeah.
It's nothing like that. This is each individual
has to take their shoes off.
all like equally reviewed, and that is like double, triple the amount of that you were.
It's probably an additional 5 minutes.
Really grateful that you said something.
We're like, no way.
Because the amount of times, talk about rejection therapy, stand up for yourself therapy.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've watched some shit happen and I'm just like, ooh, it just eats me up, but I do not like conflict and I will just sit there and stir, but I won't say anything. It's skyrocket, like through the roof, the amount of times that's happened to me. And I won't say anything, but I'll sit there and
let it simmer.
Be pissed. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they call that like being confrontational sometimes, or like,
I will say it's all 90% of those experiences are from me waiting in a line and then someone jumps or does just that. Or I'll be in Aldi and you know how there's like 6 lanes or whatever, and sometimes, and at least at my Aldi's, they're all really long. And
because they only have 1 or 2 open.
Yeah. And then, it's so long it goes into the actual aisle.
Yeah.
And, you leave a little bit of space so that people can walk through in that one area. And then someone jumps in and I've got 3 people behind me and all of our carts are full too.
Yeah.
And I see this person who also has a cart full. It's not like they've got 4 items, and I'm saying this because it's such a personal experience that happened recently. And this little lady gets in front of me with her cart just, and I'm like,
no, the line is back here.
And I get stirry. I get like and I'm like, I got a pissy face the whole time. I want her to look back at me and see that I know what she did and I'm pissed.
But why don't you say something
I
immediately?
don't say anything.
You need to say something like, "Hey, the line is back here," because she just could be like dumb, right?
No, I could tell that she wanted to see the world burn. She said, "Fuck you. I know what I'm doing, and you're not going to say anything." That's rejection therapy. I did not face the confrontation therapy, but she risked jumping in line and seeing if someone was going to say no. And
I'm surprised no one behind you said anything either.
Dude, it happens in that Aldi. It's happened a few times. That's why I can't be on my phone. It's a game. It is a game. It's a competition. You have to stay alert because the moment you're not alert, you know, you've got to maintain eye contact. They won't do it if you're making eye contact, you know?
That would be bold.
Yeah, they're going to just look at you as they're like getting in this first, like, you
say something. We need to do, don't be afraid to start shit therapy.
You know what? I would not be opposed to starting that trend.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do 100 days because that's a lot of shit starting.
That's a lot of just
maybe like
stirring the pot, days. Starting shit.
But you know what? I will do a stand up for yourself therapy. I'll start marking the times where I see something and I think in my head, "Ooh, I would have let that go." But you know what? And I'll say something.
You should.
Bet. Try me.
Get a spreadsheet, and you'll actually follow through with it.
Okay.
All right. Rejection number 9. Send stuff to Santa Claus through FedEx. So this one, he had like something in his car that he got for free at some like business expo thing. It was like nothing grand or anything like that. It was like it was like really thin, and it was like just like I think like a sticky pad that you could put in your car that you could then put like your iPad on it to hold it in place.
Yeah,
or something.
I know.
You know, just something like basic, simple that you could get for free.
Okay.
Anyway, it had been in his car for like ever. So he took that and he went into some random FedEx and he asked if he could send that to Santa. He was like, "I've had this in my car. I'm not going to use it, but I think someone could use it. Can I please send this to Santa Claus?" And again, like the employee kind of like laughs, but then the employee's like, "Well, do you have an address?" And he was like, "Well, no, it's just to Santa Claus." He was like, "Well, if you have an address, I can send it to him. But if you don't have an address, then I can't really just send it to Santa."
Handling it so well.
Yeah. Most of these people did handle it pretty well. And they, you know, they kind of like, you know, played with it. Mm-hmm. Which I don't know if you would get that today or not. I think people would surprise you.
With that, I think I would have faith in humanity a little bit that... So they're not going to, you know, they don't know the person's situation. They're not going to sit there and tell you. Because the number one
Santa
rule
isn't real.
is you never tell someone you don't know that Santa's not real. Don't be a
regardless
jackass.
of the age.
Yes.
No, this guy, the employee, he did not say Santa wasn't real. He's like, "Yeah, if you have an address, I can send it. If you don't, then I can't send it." And then not only that, I mean, he was like, you know, "No, I can't send it." But then he like offered up. He was like, you know, Schnucks probably has like a box that you can like dump it in the box and then they send those toys to like Santa Claus. So, you know, he didn't just say no, but he also offered like a solution.
Oh.
So, Jia goes on to explain that he enjoyed his conversation with Jeremy and had a lot of fun. And he said, "Frankly, I think the idea cracked him up. I really like Jeremy. FedEx has high quality employees who know how not to take things too seriously." And then his learning from this one says, "If I can get someone laughing, then the negotiation likely won't turn heated, regardless of the final outcome. I have also huge respect for people who can offer alternative solutions instead of just saying no."
Yeah. Yep, I would definitely second that.
Yeah. All right, rejection number 10. Listen to a happy birthday song when it's not my birthday. So,
listen to it?
I guess he like went around and asking people if they could sing him happy birthday even though it wasn't his birthday.
I love that.
Rejection 11. Learn sales from the number 2 car salesman in the country. So I guess he reached out to him. Like I said, I don't have, you know, all of them, but I think they're kind of fun to see like the different things that he did. Mm-hmm. Number 12. Ask Jackie to talk to millions of people. Who is Jackie? Is this like Alexa from back then? Oh, he went back, I guess, to the donut place. And I guess Jackie was the person who made the donuts for him on day 2. So he went back to Jackie.
And asked her to talk to 1 million people? Where does he get 1 million people in one place?
Let's see here.
What kind of audience is he working with?
It says, on day 12, I ventured to Krispy Kreme to see Jackie again. This time I wasn't looking for rejection, but to express my gratitude. And he said, the learning, when something incredible is accomplished, many people would fight for credit. Jackie, on the other hand, gives credit to others when she didn't have to. Would this work in the corporate world? I surely hope so. The world would be a much better place if everyone is like Jackie.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't know what he means by...
Gonna have to watch that video.
Yeah. I watched, like, the one... he puts, like, by it, like, if it was, like, a favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess, like, those got, like, more views. So I didn't watch... Again, because there's 100 of them. I didn't get to watch all of them.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll watch that one. Number 13, take an unregistered exam.
Unregistered.
Yeah. What does that mean? So his wife prepared for her project management exam. He said he got seriously jealous, which I don't know why. And then he drove her 4 hours to Dallas to take the exam. And then he decided to do it himself also. So I guess, like, she was like...
I hope he failed. I hope he failed. If this woman who has worked so hard for this exam struggled and passed or failed, either way. But if he came and took it on a blunt, like, I'm gonna just... Did he fucking pass?
Well, I don't think that they let him take the exam.
Oh, okay.
And that's what... He's not registered in the class, so
okay.
Unregistered.
I thought... Because, you know, you pay for it, I feel like, why the hell not, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, he said he'll get a printed version to try it out. So it was a no. But why? Why would you want to take an exam?
I love how he's jealous.
Yeah, like, why are you jealous? Number 14, give $5 to 5 random people. I feel like that would be really easy. But
wait, say it again.
Give $5 to 5 random people. However, nowadays, I would say no. I don't know what's on that dollar bill.
Really?
People spike it with stuff. That's why you should never pick up money when it's just laying on the ground. Sometimes it's bait.
Bait me up.
No, because what they lace it with what is it? Is it fentanyl? And then, no, don't pick up money if you see it on the ground, regardless of how much it is. I know you pick up your coins, but don't pick up any cash.
You know, I saw, story time.
Okay.
I saw a $50 bill in the bank when I was standing in a line. I had just gone up to the banker, did my thing, turned around, started walking out, and just took 2 or 3 steps before I saw a $50 bill.
Damn.
Sitting in the bank, right on the outside area of this long line. There was at least like 8 or 9 people.
So it's still inside the building.
This is also before COVID, okay? I don't know how old I was. I want to say like 18 or 19.
$50 was a lot of money.
I picked it up, and without even thinking about it, it's what comes after was the thought. But I picked it up, and I look at everybody, and I walk it back to the banker. And I said, this was on the ground over there. But I kid you not, everybody watched me look, you know, they see the $50 bill too. They probably saw it just as I saw it. I don't know
and
if it happened
anything about
just
it.
Before me or what. But it was sitting on that ground, and there were so many people in this line. So I go to pick it up, and when everyone's just kind of like, what are you going to do with that? Yeah. I had 2 options. I could be a good, loyal person.
Just take it and run.
That is
the fuck out of there.
So many people have told me. They're like, I would have taken that $50 bill and left. It's on the ground. It's your money now. But I'm like, but I'm in a bank. It's weird. It gets weird when you're in a bank, okay? You don't just see $50 and then run. You
get tackled by a security guard if you are running in a bank.
I don't know. But I will not physically run, but you take it and you're like,
just walk off.
It's mine now.
I think it all has to do with confidence. If you saw it and you picked it up and acted like it was yours and just walked out, no one would say anything. The fact that you picked it up and looked around.
They probably, here's the thing though, I bet they saw, I have a feeling, now that I'm thinking about it and telling the story, I think it was one of those things someone just dropped it. And it was like, I was within seconds, because a $50 bill, I can't imagine that's just been sitting there for like 10 minutes, Well,
maybe everyone had the same thought. It's in a bank.
The bystander effect?
Yeah.
I don't know if that applies here, but...
Yeah, I don't think anyone...
Who wants to pick up a $50 bill in a bank? In a bank, like, let me reiterate. Who wants to pick up a $50 bill? But who's going to pick it up in a bank? I don't know. Yeah, so I took it back to the banker. Anyways. Bait the fuck out of me. Okay? Here's the thing.
No, because it poisons you, Gina.
What am I...
It renders you, like... Okay, let's look up.
In your hands?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't think so.
Yes.
Not fentanyl. That's something that has to be ingested.
Hold on.
Now, I'm sure there are other things that I'm not privy to.
Okay. So, 2 to 3 milligrams is approximately... Can you stop, please?
I'm sorry. And try again.
2 to 3 milligrams is approximately 5 to 7 individual grains of table salt. An overdose signs may include slow breathing or no breathing, drowsiness, disorientation, sedation, pinpoint pupils, skin rash, or clammy skin. Let's see here. Let's look at... Because the whole point is, like, they want to, like, render you, like, unconscious. Like, they want you, like, kidnappable.
I know. But I don't think you can absorb that through your fingers. Especially if it's not visible on a dollar bill. Like, that's such a micro amount.
All right. Let's see here. Accidental secondhand exposure to fentanyl, smoke powder, or residue in public settings is extremely unlikely to cause an overdose. Maybe it's not fentanyl.
Yeah, like fentanyl would not be the drug that would happen. Now, like I said, I'm sure there are other drugs that would happen that are out there. But... And there are other... If we're talking about baiting, there's... I see that there's, like, something they can put on the inside of your door handle, which is what you're talking about, like a drug. They wouldn't even use cash. They would just put it on the door handle, and you would open up your door like any other time.
Yeah, so I don't know what it is. There's some sort of, like, drug or substance that they're putting on money, on the door handles, or, like, on the gas handles. So when
Really?
So when you touch it, your skin does absorb it, and you do start, like, getting drowsy and disoriented.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's where, like I said, I don't know what it is, but there is something that you can absorb.
Oh, God, that's so sad. That's terrifying, too.
Well, that's why, yeah. So now, like, way to ruin fucking everything. I used to see money on the ground, and I'd get really excited, and, yeah, I would pick it up. And then,
Here's what you can do now. You can take it with a toilet, some tissue paper.
Let me get my tongs out of my pocket.
Yeah,
and just grab it.
And then go home and rinse it off with water.
But will water get it?
I don't know. Google it.
There was one time that I was in high school, and this was after a basketball game, and I'm walking to my car, and all of a sudden I hear one of my teammates behind me, Maria! And I turn around, and she's running at me, and she's waving this, like $10 bill. She goes, "You dropped this." I didn't, but I was like, "Oh, thank you," and I grabbed it.
Oh, I thought you were about to hint that your, like, teammate was trying to spike you or something.
No. This was, like, in high school, and she was really sweet, and she thought that the $10 on the ground was mine. So she, like, literally picked it up, ran it to me, and was like, "Maria, you dropped your $10." And, like, instead of being like, "I didn't drop it, you have it," I was like, "Thank you," and I took it.
So nice. love that. You know that video of that guy? He makes a YouTube video and he's like, he's got a big red fro.
No.
Picture me being a really nice guy, and he goes onto the treadmill and like starts to increase it. It's like, hey, you dropped this, and he just starts picking up the speed.
Okay.
And he's like, you dropped your dollar. He's sprinting on this treadmill, and then he eats shit.
Oh shit.
On the treadmill. And he gets up, goes to the screen, pretending it's like the window of a door. It's like, hey man, you dropped this. And it's so legendary because he's like, just use your imagination.
Yeah.
And it works. Like, you see and picture it so well.
I can picture it now. Yeah.
It's cute. I'll show you that too later.
Okay. Let's see here. All right. I don't know if we're going to get through all 100 of these.
No, we're not going to get through all of them. We're on 12.
No, we're on 15.
Okay.
I really thought that we were like wham bam.
You thought that? You thought talking with me on this show
and in my notes, yep.
In your notes, we were going to get through 100 scenarios. Fuck off. We can make this a two-parter. You want to do that?
No. I don't.
Okay.
So you know what? I will link it. And people can look through all the 100s, and I'm going to hit, the heavy hitters, the favorites.
I will ask, does it get more intense as the 100 go?
Yeah, because these are kind of like, no big deal, right? Number 15, this one's a favorite, is be a live mannequin at Abercrombie. Be a live mannequin at Abercrombie. So bless this man's heart. He had no idea what Abercrombie, was. So
and for those that don't know, will you explain it real quick? It's not this anymore.
It's not?
No.
Oh, well, back when I was in high school, it was almost like a forbidden store to go into because, it was essentially, selling sex to teenagers, which I was a teenager, so I wanted it. It was dark as shit. It would knock you out with the smell as soon as you walked into the store.
Where you're going with this, the amount of times I've heard and the explanation of what Abercrombie is, and I've never experienced it myself, it sounds exactly like Hollister. What the fuck is the difference?
It's the same. They were just competing.
Yeah, it's the exact same definition, and I loved Hollister.
Do you?
I ate that shit up. Yeah.
It reminds me of high school. I don't go there anymore.
I love it. I loved it. I wouldn't say I love it now, but I like the smell. Everyone's like, it hits you like a brick wall. I'm like, yeah, it does. Me.
Yeah. No. Anyway, so he initially goes to a different store. I don't know what store it was. And he asked the salesperson, he was like, can I be a live mannequin? And she kind of laughed and she was like, oh, well, we actually don't even have live models or live mannequins here. We just have the fake ones. But then she offered up, she goes, who does do it though is Abercrombie. And he was like, oh, I've never heard of Abercrombie. Where is that? So she points it out into the store and he goes, and it's so funny because as soon as he walks up to the store and he sees the poster of it's very seductive. The girl's got her head back and the guy's kissing her between her
now I really need to see what this guy looks like.
I have a picture.
Oh God.
Like I said, he's just such a really cute man.
That. That's so cute.
And he's so innocent, right?
Yep, I see it in that smile.
Yeah. And so as soon as he walks up to it, I forget what he says, but he was like, oh boy. He is
that's so funny.
Oh, he goes, oh geez.
That's cute.
And then
poor guy.
He goes in and he asks another salesperson, can I be a live model? And she does not flat out reject him initially. She was she asked him, she goes, do you have a 6-pack or an 8-pack? And he kind of laughs because he doesn't. And he says that he doesn't, and he didn't know that was a requisite. And she said that it's a requirement. You have to have 6 or 8. And then he was asking, he's like, well, I'm just kind of asking to do it right now. And then she does kind of laugh and say oh, well, no, you have to get hired on to do it and everything like that. So inevitably, it was a no. But her first initial reaction was like, do you have a six-pack?
Okay.
And he says, while I prepared to be rejected, I didn't prepare the reason for rejection. But it only makes sense. A model needs to have the model look, just like a software engineer better know how to code. And then his learning for this one was, when rejecting someone, the attitude and reason can make a big difference. The third girl was so nice and personable, how can I be mad at her? As I said, I know. He had great experiences with these. All right, and then...
But while we're on the Abercrombie thing, if you don't know, you should look it up. There's a documentary on it all and everything.
Why would Abercrombie have a documentary?
Because it got fucked. It goes all the way to the top. It is as bad, if not almost as bad, or if not worse, I don't know, as Victoria's Secret and Hollister. Like, the whole concept of a old male at the very, very tippy top making lots and lots of money off of people's insecurities, basically.
And, like, sexualizing it.
For a better lack of term, yes.
Yeah. Well, that was, like, a given. Mm-hmm. Victoria's Secret is that it's owned by a man.
But they would go through, like, hiring processes, and they would, do it because they had to, but they were getting by, like, they would not hire people that were not beautiful.
Hooters. You have to have a certain requirements to work at Hooters. I think, like, nowadays you can get away with it more because, like, there's so many, like, discrimination suits.
You're right. I think it is nowadays. It's different because I'm only thinking of nowadays. I don't know how it was before, but yes, they would not hire a certain race. They would only hire, like, this many women, this many men. They had to be blondes, blue-eyed, beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. And it got noticed, and then they, fought, and then they were, like, hiding behind lawyers and not really filling out paperwork, but they were filling it. I don't know. It was weird. There's a whole documentary on it, yes. Because it got weird. Worth documenting. Go on.
Well, I don't shop there, so I'm not supporting it.
Well, it's different now. It's like, it's way better.
Okay, I still don't support it.
Okay.
All right, we're skipping around now. So number 17, borrow a dog from the Humane Society.
We're skipping and we jumped two down.
We went from 15 to 17. But that's because that's the one that I watched, so I could talk about it.
Okay.
So borrow a dog from the Humane Society. So he already has a dog, and they weren't looking to get another one, but he wanted to, like, make the day of a dog. Like, he wanted to make some dog really happy that day, so he was going to borrow him. He took, like, his leash and the toys, and he was getting ready to have, like, a grand old day with this dog. Like, he goes on to say, like, this was one that he was really, really, really hoping to get a yes on. And he was actually, like, really bummed to get a no on this one. Because they do say no.
Yeah.
And I think, like, it's different now. I think, like, if you can become a, like, volunteer type and you can go and you can, like, take the dog out for runs and you can essentially borrow it for a day and then take it back.
Yes.
Back then, you couldn't do that. That wasn't a thing. So...
Okay. What year is this, by the way?
I don't know. I didn't write it down when he started all of this. But, so... The lady said no right away, and then she kept saying no, that we don't do that, didn't offer up any other solutions, except for, like, well, you can adopt the dog, and then, you can do whatever with it, but, yeah, it was a hard no. And she was kind of having less fun with it than some of the other people, so it was a little
what's funny is that you say that. I actually did volunteer at 5 Acres, and I loved them because they were very passionate about what they did, especially for the animals, and it was a no-kill shelter. It was very clean, all good around. But, they were definitely the type of people that like dogs more than people. So, you know what I'm saying? They were true through and through animal lovers. They did not care to deal with people's shit.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. Like, I would rather me taking my pet and cat to the vet and they prefer working with pets than they do people.
Yes.
I want those type of people working on my pets.
Yeah, sure.
And that's where the vet tech that told me about the pet psychic, she was one of those people where
Definitely.
like, she hated people.
You can tell.
But she loved pets, and so much so that, you know, she's crying with me because of my pet.
That's so cute. I'll never forget you telling me that.
Yeah, so she's one of those people. I want that around pets. You should be like that if you're going to get into that field.
You telling about how this one was a little more, you know.
Well, I don't think she was
excited.
protective of the pets. I think she was just like, you're some random guy. No, you can't borrow a pet.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know you. I don't know if you're going to bring it back. I don't know if you're going to harm it. So it could have been both. Yeah. All right. Day 18. So we're not skipping a whole lot.
Bitch.
But it was just so happened that
new rule after this one, you need to jump 5 down.
Let's see, what do I have after? Oh, this was the last one that I had in a row. And then I think I watched some and then didn't write it down. So after this, we will actually skip around.
You guys see what I work with.
Bitch. All right, so day 18 or rejection 18, give the weather forecast on live TV.
Oh, that one's a big one.
That's a big one. So he was actually already going to be interviewed because like Fox News at that time caught wind of his rejection therapy. And like I said, he went pretty viral pretty early on. I think it was like either with the donut episode or with the number 7. I forget which one it was, but he went pretty viral pretty quickly. And so Fox News has him on and they're talking about it. And this was one that he thought of like on the spot. Like he just saw an opportunity. So while he's on live TV,
with them interviewing him about rejections.
Yeah. The interviewer was like, so, you know, what's next, you know, for you? What's your next rejection? He's like, well, right now. He was like, can I give the weather? He's like, I've always wanted to always wanted to like forecast the weather or do whatever. Can I do it right now? And she said no. And he was like, well, thank you.
Why not? You know, give
you're there.
A chance.
I kind of wish that they said yes. I think he would have done a phenomenal weather forecast.
Yeah, not take it too seriously. Just give the man. That would have been a real hit for him, for them.
For them, yeah.
I mean, this guy's shooting a shot and he got his chance. That would have been cool.
It would have been cool. Oh, right. So let's see here. I hope I didn't skip the one.
Back to 14.
No, okay. So rejection number 25. He wanted to dance with a dancing Santa Claus. I'm clicking on it. Oh, so he is outside. The Santa Claus is outside and he's spinning that little sign. Mm-hmm. And so he goes up and he asks if he can dance with him. And it looks like he's getting ready to dance. He's wearing a sign also. So that looks like that was a yes. Learning. 1, someone finally taught me how to Dougie. Number 2, life is so much more fun and colorful if we simply slow down and don't walk by everything. So I guess he was walking by, saw a dancing Santa. Was like, can I dance with you? And said, yeah. Uh-huh. That would be fun. I would be down to do that. That was like, for the girls' trip. Remember when we went to Nashville and there was those street dancers?
Yeah.
And I just went up and started dancing with them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
That was fun.
That was funny.
Life is more fun when you can just join the dance.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Rejection 35, ask a girl out to dinner. That was 1. Rejection 36, trim my hair at PetSmart. So get a haircut at PetSmart.
Please tell me that they said no.
Let me click on it real quick. Come on, internet. Oh, shit, I didn't mean to. How do you open a tab that you accidentally closed? Control Z. Nope.
It's gone, bitch.
Huh?
It's gone.
Well, it better not be gone. That was my list. How do you get back? Good. I know that there's a way. But I'm trying to do it without... Shit. Alright, I'll go to my history. Pause. Is it Control H for history? Yep, it sure is.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. All right, so we were talking about trimming the hair at PetSmart. So there's you can see a clip or like a little thing, and she's smiling, so it looks like she had a good time with it. And then so it looks like on day 36, he tried to relate to his dog and convinced the good people at PetSmart to give him a hair trimming session as well. It says, one thing I found interesting was the power of encouraged humor. When I made the request, its outrageousness prompted Christina to laugh out loud. It immediately put my mindset into a humored, joking one, which led me to give out a series of jokes. While I was successful in getting rejected, the discussion was smooth and hilarious. Jon Stewart, one of my favorite comedians, once said it's extremely uncomfortable in an environment where there is no laughing audience. I can now understand why. Joking becomes so much easier when presenter senses a receptive audience.
So it sounds like he has social cues, which is important if you're going to do this type of challenge.
Yes.
Because when someone says no, you gotta know.
Yeah, read the room.
Because even when those times where he was being persistent after they said no, he read the room on what he was okay to push, you know?
Yeah, he knew what limits to push and what to not. Let's see here. So we said that was 36. Rejection 39, race a random person. Rejection 41, I watched this one. Sit in a police car's driver's seat.
Ooh.
What do you think the police said?
Yes.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one was really fun to watch. So he was like, I don't know where he was at. He was just out and about, and there was a police officer that was like, pumping his gas. And so he approached the police officer. And initially, like, you had no idea how this was going to play out, right? Mm-hmm. Because the police officer, like, did not put a smile on his face or anything like that when he was approached. Oh. And Jia asked him, he was like, excuse me, officer, can I sit in... He was like, I have an odd request. He goes, can I sit in your car? And then initially it looked like the officer was going to say no, because he, like, was sitting there thinking about it, and he had a look on his face. And then all of a sudden he was like, sure. And then he was like, but not here. He was, for whatever reason, not at the gas station. So the police officer drove to some random street. He has other police officers there. They're all kind of like watching him and kind of like hand at the ready. Yeah. And they initially said like, well, you can sit on the passenger side. But then he pushed it a little bit. He was like, I want to sit on the driver's side. I want to pretend to be a policeman. Like, I want to feel the power. They let him. There's video and there's a photo of him. It's very iconic. He is sitting in the driver's side of the police car, and his hidden camera's on, and he's got his hands on the steering wheel. Pretty iconic.
My gosh. Okay,
that
so now going back to him getting permission to
pose,
provide this footage.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they even said yeah, because you have to ask a double rejection question, Hey, I'm doing this project. Yeah. Can I post this? Can I share this video with your face?
Yeah. And
they have to say yes or no.
Yeah.
Now, are we saying that 100 times everyone said yes? Did really everyone agreed that was okay for them to... I feel like it's often like, no, I don't want my face anywhere on...
Well, again, this was, I don't know how many years ago. I think, I don't think social media was as huge as it is now.
Oh, okay.
Like, this didn't go on...
Different times. It really sounds like it. I mean, everything about it.
Yeah, this was just strictly YouTube. It's not Instagram, TikTok, or anything like that.
And I'm reading the room of the guy, too. He seems like such a sweet person. Judging a book by its cover, it's a real thing. It's, I think, totally... personal, probably very unpopular opinion, allowed to judge a book by its cover, because you gotta trust your gut. It's just one of those things. Like, take that as you will. But If I saw this man come and ask me some, like, really random question, and then I, exchanged a few words, even if I said no initially, just based off of his demeanor and the way he, like, carries on a conversation, I would have been like, you know what?
Reconsider it.
Okay. You seem like an okay guy. So...
Yeah, I think definitely, like, his demeanor, like you said, and how he looks, how he presents himself, definitely got him
Confidence.
a lot further than, like, if it was someone who was maybe, like, very, like, heavily tattooed, and the face tattoos and the earrings, and then you're kind of... I mean, I have, the tattoos, but, if a super tattooed person approaches me...
big, muscular, scary guy, I would have been like... No.
And again, it totally depends on, like, the demeanor.
Or if you've got the stash and the square glasses and the comb over. you know the vibe I'm getting.
I think it just goes back to, like, trust your gut. Like, depends on, what feeling you get from that person.
Unbiased opinion, again. But some people will be like, that's... I don't know, they'll call it racist or some other thing that gives it a reason that makes it sound bad for saying no because of someone by their looks.
No, especially nowadays, it's just being safe. You're just trusting your gut, making a judgment call.
Would it make you feel better if I told everybody no? There you go.
I don't know. Anyways, I found this article that I guess he wrote, and it was in 2015. So he had to have done this prior to that. So... around that time frame, so 10 years ago.
Okay. Oh my god,
10 years. Because we're in 25. All right, so that was the...
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
My 10-year reunion's coming up. High school.
Oh, mine's been gone 5 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
All right, so that was the police car one. Number 43, hug a Walmart greeter. I thought that was sweet. 44, dance on a security camera. That one's also kind of fun. 45, put sunglasses on random people. 47, pump gas for strangers. 48, bike race at Toys R Us. Rejection 50.
When Toys R Us was a thing. Wow.
Oh, yeah, it is gone.
Also, you said Best Buy. I'm like, yeah, this has been a minute.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
I would say even 12. I don't know if you wrote that article, because when you said 36 days on day 36, but it was number 25, so I think that answered it, that it was...
No, because this is an article that he wrote after it's already been done, and it was like May of 2015.
No, I'm saying on day 30, like when you were reading off the 25th one, he said on day 36. So he's not doing them every single day, is what I'm saying. On the 36th day, he did his 25th challenge.
Is that what it said?
That's what you read.
Day 36, he went to PetSmart.
Which challenge is that? Number 25.
No. Day 36. Trim my hair at PetSmart. You're hearing things.
Oh, wait, close out of it. Wait, show me the list. Rejection 20. Go to Rejection 25. Oh, that's Santa. 36? Fuck.
Yeah.
Irrelevant.
Wrong.
Rejected.
Rejected. Fail. All of it. Let's see here.
Ooh, can we make a lesson out of that? Or maybe it's our weekly wow. Whether it be, relevant to this or whatnot. If someone says you're wrong, whether that be gaslighting or them being confident that they are right, and you are, like, really adamant that you're right, it's okay to challenge, to push. I say push it a little bit. Take the time to investigate it a little further.
On whose end?
Both. So, like, in that moment, I could, like, let's just say, pretend that I was right. So I would have been like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. And then we would have just gone on and just, like, accepted that you were right and I was wrong when I was actually right. But I never pushed it enough. I'm just saying, like, what if I was actually right? Where I think it would be fair that if I was confident enough and took the time to check, that is, because then it's that little win.
You were standing up for yourself.
Yeah, thank you for a better way of saying it. Because then sometimes, you don't want to fight something. It's you pick your battles is another way of saying it.
Yeah.
And you're just like, okay, yeah, never mind. Where it's like, no, what's wrong? Say it.
No, if someone tells me I'm wrong, I don't just like leave it. It never, ever, ever occurs to me to just leave it.
Oh, I leave it almost all the time.
I'm always like, why?
I do ask
why
the
am I wrong? What is wrong about that?
Especially in like a learning scenario, but it's so funny when it's that I don't want to like throw it in their face, but I'm just like, you just sat there and tried to gaslight me for 5 minutes.
Well, that's the thing. They may not be trying to gaslight.
Sometimes in the environments that I've worked in the past, trauma, they will sit there and be like, no. And then when you finally are like, okay, so I was right. And they're like, they find some weird twisted way to say, well, I never said you were wrong. I'm like, yes, you fucking did. Now we're going to argue about what you said earlier.
No. See, I think it depends what it is. If someone is trying to gaslight me and saying that I'm wrong, I'm not going to fight that. That's not a battle worth fighting. You know what? Because they're never going to change their mind. They're gaslighters. That's what they do. So I'm just going to leave it. If it's a learning situation, I encourage people to tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah. Very different. Very different.
Or like, shit, if we say something on here and it's wrong, I would prefer someone to reach out and be like, hey, you're wrong about that. I want to be educated. I want to be corrected.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, if someone has, like, a different view or a different perspective, like, then I want to have a conversation about it. Why do you disagree? Respectfully, of course, right? Like, there's no need to, like, get angry at me if I'm wrong or get upset because I think differently than you. People think differently. Otherwise, it'd be boring as fuck. So I'm always interested, like, why do you think that way? Because sometimes they may have a valid point of something that I've never thought about before.
Yeah, it's just our DNA.
Actually.
We're just mutated.
3 billion years worth of mutations.
If anyone heard me and are like, what the fuck do you know?
Well, because
I was in the last episode, okay?
Well, I was thinking about what you said afterwards, how you said that we sounded like arrogant and audacious.
I did say that, yes.
And I'm listening back to it, and I was like, well, not really. And, like, if we are wrong about something, then, okay, let us know. But the whole point of the podcast was just to make it, like, sound like you're eavesdropping on two friends having a conversation. So we try to genuinely have as raw as a conversation as we possibly can. Like, that was just, like, a typical conversation that we would have.
Which, I guess that's how you take it, because it really just exposes my dumbfound ways.
And there's nothing wrong with that. What is wrong with trying to learn and trying to have a conversation?
I guess. We have to, I think it's important we reiterate what this podcast is all about every now and then.
What is it about?
Who the fuck knows?
We don't know.
We're going on, 61, 62 episodes
62.
now? 62. And I think the last time we really said who we are, what we're here doing in our actual episode, aside from the websites, it was, 50 episodes ago.
We're just two friends shooting shit, talking about what interests us.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong. Sometimes we have opinions. That's my opinion. And, it's more for, like, entertainment purposes, right?
We are fortuitous.
Fortuitous. But, yeah, I mean, I thought a lot about that after you said that when we, like, literally just finished recording the episode. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with having a...
Well, you know what's funny that you thought about that? Is that I thought about how I still felt like I was right. And I was like...
We fact-checked a couple things.
I did not like that I was told I was wrong after, like, I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Well, just because, like, you can't, like, fathom it doesn't mean that it's incorrect.
Well, right? That one, the one that we had fact-checked about the...
The different body fact ones.
Oh, that one, yeah, that was crazy. But I'm thinking of, like, there's nothing wrong with taking a selenium every day. I fucking looked that up. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm
Well,
pointing a finger.
apparently you can overdose on it. So
Overdosing is... Okay, well, here we go. Rattle me up. Rattle my tender.
This is a confrontational mood tonight.
Yes. Overdosing is like taking like 4 a day. Remember when I was taking oregano oil?
Yeah.
And I was saying, you know, I confess that when I get sick, I'll take like 5 oregano oils a day. That is a little outrageous. Yes. And now having learned that, I way backed off, and I'll have like the 1 a day and only when I'm sick. But selenium's taking those once a day, and then like taking vitamin C or something. Like, you can't match or find out exactly what supplements you are what am I trying to say?
Deficient.
I almost said debilitated. Deficient in, because your diet changes day to day. Like, you're not eating the exact same thing every single day, and you're going to get a little bit here, a little bit there, but you don't know what you're depleted in on that day. So it's okay to take the supplement, because the percentage that's what's in the vitamin or whatnot, like vitamin C, for example, it's okay to have, you know, emergency or vitamin C in addition to some oranges you'll eat, or the kale, or the whatever has vitamin C in it.
Okay, but what if you are arguing this strongly about it, and it turns out to be the same thing as the 5 oregano oils? Like, let's say down the road you learn selenium is bad to take every day.
Well, because I looked it up.
Okay, but did you
fact
not
checker?
Did you not look up the oregano oil stuff beforehand?
No, I did look up the oregano oil. I learned that was wrong when you brought it to my attention like a year ago.
Okay.
So that's different. Selenium is fine.
All right. Well, if that's what you found and that's what you want to believe, then okay.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm not going to say I was wrong, but I'm just saying that we can both be correct.
Okay. Because we found out that, you know, with what you showed me, and I'm not going to use this as my actual facts because it was something online, but he himself had plenty of articles to backtrack on.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
Too much selenium. Too much vitamin C.
Actually, I haven't had selenium in like a few weeks, okay? But no, so this, in today's age, it's so based on quantity over quality. And so, for example, the oranges, that was something that stuck with me.
That you have to eat 8
to get the equivalent of 1
from like years ago.
From, you know, a few decades ago, because the nutritional value is so much more depleted in today's amount.
Age. Yeah.
Yes.
And today's.
As compared to what it was before. So we have all these supplements, and yeah, supplements are a little overkill compared to what they were, but it's because what we're eating is so different from what it was before. I think supplements are a very valid thing to take, because the fact is our nutritional value of food today is not what it was before, and we are not getting what we need for our bodies
through the food.
You're just not. You can eat as much as you want or as much as you can, and there's the percentages, it lists it, whatever, but you're also facing the hormones that are added in, and the pesticides and all the other things that are thrown in there. It's okay to take a selenium every day.
All of that to say. Well, I say do your own research and decide for yourself if you want to take it every day or not. You do what's best for you and your body. I still want to...
Signing out.
I still think I would like take some sort of test to see if I understand your point about, you know, this day you may have more vitamin C based off of these foods that you ate, and this day you're kind of lacking it because you ate kind of shitty. But I think, like, overall, you can still kind of test to see if you are deficient in a certain thing or not.
I'll also second that one. Ready, here I go. Insurance is such a big one. And I know you would probably be like, yeah, but it's your body, it's your health, it's worth the investment. But it's tough out there. It's not everybody is going to throw down $2,000 to find out what vitamins they're deficient in. They're just going to spend the $12 on getting a bottle of vitamin C and taking it every day.
But what if that vitamin C is actually really shitty? What if it's, made at these like plants that like really like put trash and stuff, and then they call it vitamin C because it has an X amount of percentage in it that is vitamin C, but we're gonna pack it with like other stuff, and the FDA is gonna approve it because we do have at least 12% of it vitamin C.
Listen to this podcast and then go and question everything about this world and life and society and who you are as a person.
We did say that like the more you learn, the more you realize how little you actually know.
And it hurts. It's like you have to go sleep on it and then and then sleep on it a little bit more, because I feel like our conversations just like make me shrink a little bit inside, and then I grow a little bit more. I'm like, oh god, that hurt, but I'm like, okay, but I know that much more from it. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, with that, I could turn it back and say, yeah, what if, throw my hands up, what if? Yeah. Or I could go and do the research and find out, all right, there's these 4 different brands of vitamin C, and look more into them, or not, and get something out of it. Whether it's hurting your body a little bit, I don't know. I don't think it is. I think that's a bit of a stretch.
It's a what if, right?
Yeah. But, because you're right, there are so many brands of vitamin C. Like,
and
what is the difference? I don't know.
There's some that are so cheap. Why is it so cheap? If it is actually legit, like, why wouldn't it be more expensive?
And that is what I have not taken the time to, investigate. I'm kind of just going off of personal, I am my own guinea pig. It's like, oh, I've taken vitamin C the last few days. I'm feeling pretty good.
Right. And that's all you can do. I don't think that, we can recommend anything like umbrella wise, like do this, do that.
Oh my gosh, no.
Do your own research, figure it out for yourself. We're no experts.
Weekly Wow Maria 2014 or 2024. What? 2014? Fuck. 2024. Figure out your life. Fix your life.
If you want to. Today, I don't fucking care. I'm in a very cynical mood today. I'm pissed off. So like, I'm just do whatever. Some days I'm really passionate, want to change the world, altruistic. And other days I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Do whatever. It's your life. Today's one of those days.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. So what?
Good for you. Okay. Give me the next one. Give me 74.
Hold on. 65.
Okay.
Sleep at mattress firm.
Like the night? For the night?
Yeah. Or I guess whatever.
I mean, take a nap, but during business hours.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I can imagine a fat no on him staying the night there, but
it's probably
got the rejection therapy out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he makes the point that like before you buy cars, you do test drives, you put on the sunglasses to see if they look good on you. You date someone before you marry them, and so like why wouldn't you be able to sample a mattress? So back then you couldn't sample. Nowadays you can order a mattress, sleep on it, and return it. I think within 30 days.
That's so much work, though. Oh, my God.
It is, yeah. And, he does get a yes. So, let's see here. So, he's at the mattress store, and he's like, yeah, we can lay on them for 5 minutes, trying to see if our spine still sits straight afterwards. However, no one buys a mattress to stare at the ceiling. We buy it so we can spend a third of our day in blissful slumber. So if we really want to see how a mattress would fit our lives, we should take a real nap on it. So he goes to this mattress store to see if they will allow him to do a full test drive. He says Teresa said absolutely without any hesitation and agreed to wake him up in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
In 10 minutes. So he had a 10-minute power nap?
So, yeah, I guess I don't know if he actually napped. But he says, however, just like in movies, the man wakes up and the woman is gone. So where the fuck is Teresa? He says, when asked, the other salesperson confirmed that I was the only one who has ever asked to sleep in the mattress store. Moreover, he was also surprised that no one else has ever made the request. And then he's like, well, why not? We eat in restaurants, we read in bookstores, but we never sleep in mattress stores.
Yeah, I guess sleeping, I don't, it's a question, but like, is it though? I mean, when you're asleep, you're so vulnerable. So if you're sleeping in a mattress store when people are walking by you, it's just...
Are you actually relaxed?
Yeah, it's not something I could really do. So I'm not going to bother asking because I'm not going to be able to fall asleep, like, point blank.
What if you go, like, really obscure hours and you are kind of, like, the only ones in there?
I know that probably a coworker is taking a video of me and being like, look at this guy. Because I would be that coworker.
Well, Vic and I need a new mattress, so I think I will, like, pocket this one and then ask him.
Please do.
Just for the sake of getting a no, yeah.
Yeah, rejection.
Because I am making it one of my New Year's resolution to, like, once a month shoot my shot and get a no.
Okay, go off. Mm-hmm. Let me know how it goes. Let us know.
I will. Follow up.
Our listeners.
74, the one you requested. Hire a job seeker on the spot. Let's see here. Rejection 78. What happens when trying to feed a lion?
He tried to feed a lion.
I guess so. Number 80.
You should try.
Test drive an expensive car. I've always wanted to do this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We should add it to our list. Drive an expensive car.
Did he get a yes?
Let's see. Test drive an expensive car.
I would love to test drive. Why haven't I done that? Why haven't I just gone car searching just to drive cars that I don't get to drive every day?
Well, what I've always wanted to do is like do like a date day or a date night, and we find like the most outlandish expensive car, bougie as shit, fun to drive, like a Rolls Royce. Mm-hmm. I would love to just ride in a Rolls Royce. I don't even need to drive it. I just want to ride in it, right? So I've always wanted to like...
I want to do this so bad now.
I've always wanted to go, quote unquote, test drive it somewhere, have a burger, drive it back. That is the date.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to add it to my list right now.
Oh my gosh. I'm just thinking about like, but first you got to play the part. They will know. They're going to read their salesman, right? They're picking up cues on their people walking in the door. So I would hands down dress as bougie as fuck and walk in with confidence on my chest, written across. Say, I'm here
tattooed
to drive
on there, confidence.
a Rolls Royce.
Can
I practice saying it first?
Do you know how to say it?
Can I even say it? A Rolls Royce. Excuse me, I'm here to drive a Rolls Royce.
Rolls Royce.
I'm looking at...
You will have to practice saying it before you go.
I say it and I get all giggly because I'm like, ah!
Date, day, expensive
Add it to the list.
car. I am actually at it.
That's actually so genius. I love it so much. I kind of want to just take note of the yeses. So I know he's doing the rejection therapy. There's a whole point to this. But I want to know like things that I'll actually succeed in and just go do it so I could do it.
Well, just because they're yeses for him doesn't mean that there will be yeses for you.
Stronger chance.
Maybe. It all depends on your demeanor, right?
Yeah, right.
If you went in looking like you do now.
No kidding. Hello,
maybe not.
Can I drive a Rolls Royce, please?
All right, let's see here. Rejection 87, sky jump off of a building.
Hell no.
So he's, quote unquote, rejecting my fear. We mostly consider rejections as interpersonal experiences, with one person rejecting another, and the results are always undesirable. In reality, self-rejections happen a lot more frequent and for good and bad reasons. A bad reason for self-rejection is that a person is afraid to be rejected by others, so he rejects himself to avoid the imagined pain. Let's see here. He explains in his talk, rejection versus regret. This type of self-rejection is very counterproductive. It prevents us from obtaining the opportunities and beauty life has to offer.
Okay.
Says
No.
Ja. On the other hand, a good self-rejection, if used correctly, is amazingly useful. For example, an ex-Navy commander and the author of the wonderful leadership book, Turn the Ship Around, David Marquette, once chatted with me about having about him having to reject his own military leadership mentality in order to let his employees shine with their creativity. So that is a good example.
Would you skydive?
I have skydove twice.
Okay, would you bungee jump?
Yes.
Yeah, we are so different. I have this conversation in my head every now and then. I'm like, am I missing out on life? Like, what do you define as life, right? Am I missing out on life by not doing these big, extravagant things? My answer, no. My life is what I'm doing right now, and as long as I'm happy with it, I think I'm doing it correctly.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. As long as you're happy, then no, you're not missing out on it. Because it was always on my bucket list, so I would be missing out if I didn't do it.
Okay, good. Yeah, if it's on a bucket list, do it. Fight your inner demons to do it. But I don't have it on my bucket list. I have no desire to do something like that. And I'm like, and then the thrill seekers are like, yeah, what kind of life are you living if you're not doing the big crazy things that life has to offer? I'm like, I'm living a very comfortable,
you're living your
happy life. I'm very fine.
An alive life.
I'm saving a spot for you. There is not a big line for this event for you.
So Vic and I did my second sky jump when we went to Colorado, and we did it on a whim.
Wow.
And we got it off of a Groupon.
That's so bold, bro.
I know, right?
Okay.
So, we went to Colorado with no itinerary, because that's how we like to, just go and figure out what we want to do and just do it.
Okay.
So, one night, we were looking at, okay, what do we want to plan for the next couple days? So, one day, we decided we wanted to hike a 14,000-foot mountain, which we had no equipment. We've never done anything like that.
Oh, you told us about that one.
Yeah, so on a fucking whim, we just hiked this, really challenging mountain, a 14er. Mm-hmm. And then we saw an ad for, a Groupon for skydiving. And I don't know how it came up, but found it, clicked on it, and we're like, let's do it. So then one day we climb a mountain, the next day we jump from a plane.
Wow.
It was a pretty fucking awesome trip.
Well, I have my honeymoon coming up, and we have no itinerary.
Didn't tell me about it until yesterday. Today, this morning. FYI. Is it 2 weeks?
No, it's a week.
Oh,
but I'm thinking we have no itinerary, so I'm thinking okay. So I'm kind of taking notes on some weird things I could do. Am I gonna jump out of a plane? No.
And you don't have to if you don't want to. No, I mean, for some things, I think, you should have, an itinerary. If we go to Europe, okay, these are the big things that we want to hit. And if you need tickets ahead of time, sure.
I'm not doing an 8, 9, 10 o'clock thing. No. But I am going to have, these are the checkpoints that are must-dos. These are some things that we should do, but if we don't get to, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, those are the goals. But hiking, check.
Yeah.
Greg plans on snorkeling every day, all day. I'm like, babe.
It's so fun.
No!
Yeah, it's so
not
pretty.
Not all day long, every day that we are there.
But if that's what he loves,
he can have a dose. We are not doing that the whole time we're there. No. Because I want to go hike in a beautiful mountain. So I'm going to sprinkle that in there. He's like, when people ask, what are you going to do? He's like, we're going to snorkel. And they're like, anything else? He's like, no. And I'm like, we'll talk. We will talk. Because we are definitely doing more things than just snorkeling, okay?
Where are you going?
British Virgin Islands.
Oh, yeah.
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 So, never been there before. Heard great things. It's beautiful. I want to see more than the coral reefs. No offense to the coral reefs.
I think you guys should do both things you want to do because it's your honeymoon.
Absolutely.
For both of you.
We're not going to not snorkel. Don't get me wrong. But is that the only thing we're going to do? No. Fuck no.
No, you should do more. If you want.
Go sit. Now, some people's view of, their honeymoon is sitting on a beach and just
relaxing and drinking.
Yes. And every now and then going and snorkeling or doing one thing. No. I'm gonna do stuff.
I'm the activity type.
Greg is too. We'll be around. So I'll let you know how it goes.
You should.
Okay.
Back to the sky jumping. Let's see here. He felt compelled and he challenged himself that night to reject his own fear by doing the sky jump off of Las Vegas stratosphere, the highest controlled free fall in the world. You jump from the 108th floor. Ooh, I'm going to add this to my list for Vegas. So he says, standing on the edge of the tower, I knew the only thing between an amazing experience, jump, and retreat was my own fear. It was a gruesome war of emotions in my head, heart, stomach, and it took every ounce of courage I had. Once in the air, I was engulfed in the amazing sensation of flying. I realized how sweet victories, especially the ones over myself, can feel.
Aww.
Which is like 100%. Like when we jumped out of that plane for the first time, my sister and I,
yeah,
it was the most liberating, freeing thing I've ever experienced. I've always wanted to fly, and it was just fuck awesome.
That's awesome. I love to hear it.
I'm glad that he was able to do that.
I can like picture his big ass smile.
Yeah, he has a big smile on his face about everything that he does.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, so what number was that? That was 87.
It's a guy like this I want to see a documentary on.
The TED Talk,
I want to see all the things, you know?
Yeah, they're fun to watch. All right, 96, interview a female bodybuilder. I would want to do that. 99, ask strangers to rate my look. That would be humbling.
Okay.
And then rejection 100, interview President Obama. Let me click on this. I don't think that he did it, but let's just click on it.
Because if he got so public at 18, I can only imagine 100.
Yeah.
I'm sure Obama would have been like, yeah.
He said for his 100 rejection attempt, he wants to go for the impossible. Interview President Obama on his views and personal experience of rejection. Let's see here. He's a very busy person. Works on military responses. Getting a yes from the President of the United States might affect billions of dollars in business and change political landscapes in some parts of the world.
What?
Like if this is him talking.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, it is not unheard of for the president to do an interview on a topic that's relevant to people or policies. Let's see here.
Well, it's a big one. Big talk.
Yeah, history is also not bereft of examples of citizens meeting the ruler of the country. Marco Polo met Kublai Khan when he went to China. He gives more examples.
Marco Polo?
It was a real person.
That's a person?
Yeah.
Who is
Today
that?
years old.
Who is that?
Let's see here. Apparently, the results, Marco Polo brought pasta back to Italy, and we now have Olive Garden in America.
Marco Polo created Olive Garden? Or brought Olive Garden to America? Bro, what?
Who was Marco Polo?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Apparently a real person and not just a game that you play in the pool. He was a real person. Venetian merchant, explorer, and writer who traveled through Asia along the Silk Road between 1271 and 1295. So old as shit.
What's his value? Who is he? What did he do?
That is the very next thing below. Show more. Legacy. He was a bestseller. He has a book. He shocked medieval Europe. His descriptions of the East did not meet the expectations, and many criticized him as a liar. So again, example, just because you can't fathom it or see it doesn't mean that they're wrong. But it looks like he was just like a big explorer. Is what he was like known for. And I guess like, you know, he brought pasta to... Where did he take it? Brought pasta back to Italy. And then Italy became super big on pasta.
That's Marco Polo is who brought pasta to Italy.
Mm-hmm. So Italy should thank Marco Polo.
I am so mind blown right now.
Who knew that this episode would take us here?
Wow.
Not
okay.
Me.
No.
Not I.
Definitely not. Did you know that?
No.
Okay. You said it like it was nothing.
I'm reading this thing. I was shook it. I was internally shook it. I hid it well. Yeah, I thought it was just a game.
Wow. Marco Polo. Good for him. I
real
wonder how
person.
that has anything to do with the game, though. Why the fuck did they pull Marco Polo's name?
Marco
Polo.
Maybe a future episode. Let's see here. Oh. He asked, can this be done? Back to interviewing Obama. He goes, I don't know, but I do know what I'm doing is for a good cause. And if I don't ask, I would have regret for the rest of my life. And then he asked for people to share it. And then he asked, if you have any idea on how I can get an interview with the president without changing my name to JD Jurek or Jopra Jimfrey, let me know.
So he didn't ask?
Let's look it up.
He asked how to ask?
He's getting, like, suggestions on how to ask without changing his name. Jia Jiang. Did Jia Jiang interview?
And I think better late than never is one of those quotes that would apply. Like, I bet he could ask Obama to now, where he's not as busy as when he was in his presidency. Huh?
I'm sorry, I was trying to read stuff. Say it again.
I said if he were, better late than never is a good quote that would apply to that moment. Is, you know, if
Eventually getting it.
Yeah, I mean, if there's no harm in asking Obama now when he's not a president and not as busy. I mean, he's still busy as fuck, I'm sure, but
Yeah, and it's not quite the same, right? Because you need that president title, because that's the impossible thing. It doesn't look like he got it. I don't see where they're...
Yeah, he probably didn't.
And that's where, like, why was this... It was like, really hard for me to find if they were, like, yeses or nos without watching the video. You have to, like, watch the video.
I guess the premise was not to know if he got the answer or not. It was just...
I wanted to
These
know
are
if
the
he got
things I
it.
asked. Yeah, I'm sure. Sounds like a real stand-up guy.
He is.
I want to meet him. Can I...
Ask him.
Well, we need to ask him.
Say, like, hey, we're inspired by your rejection therapy. Can we meet you? Is this a rejection or is it not?
Do it. We're going to ask him. Are we going to ask him?
I'll put it on my
Send
list.
him a letter.
Will
Hi.
you ask him to be a guest on the podcast?
Yeah, there you go. We're up and coming.
For 1 year. So, at the end of his 100-day journey, do you want to guess how many yeses and how many nos he got?
Okay. I'll give a moment of silence for anyone that wants to think of a number.
Give it a ponder.
I'm going to say 40 yeses.
Close. 51 yeses.
Oh, so
he-
50-50 kind of.
Kind of. He got more yeses than he got nos.
Wow.
51
Think about
yeses
it like that.
and 49 nos when he was expecting to get all nos. See, that's why I say shoot your shot. You will be surprised at how many yeses you get.
I love that when you brought this to the table initially, I immediately thought of the dating game.
Really?
That's immediately where my head went. And I thought of our one friend, not so
That
much.
rejected us. I did think
No,
about...
not that
Oh.
one. No, what do you call it? What do you call someone? Acquaintance. Our acquaintance that
Is trying to date?
is trying to date and doesn't like to date because doesn't like being told no.
There's a lot of people like that, yeah. But I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could use some
Shoot your
rejection
shot,
therapy.
buddy.
Shoot your shot. Just keep shooting it.
Keep going.
That's how...
I know it hurts. We all know it hurts. We can all agree rejection sucks. Period.
Yeah. But yeah, rejection goes beyond just, like, the dating world. Like, he gave so many examples of where you could go and try and get rejected.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I've got to ask for a refill burger. I'm going to give that one a go.
That one was cute. Refill
simple.
burger. And that's where, like, now, like... So, like I said, I did this research, like, before the race. And then, so I had been thinking about it. And I've, like, actually been looking for opportunities to get rejected. And then that Colleen Quigley lady, she was there. Shot my shot. It worked out. I took it a step further, too. I, like, tagged her in, like, one of my stories. And it was, like, almost 24 hours had passed. And, you know, when, after 24 hours, it loses it and you can't share it. It's almost 24 hours, and I'm like, ugh, she's not going to share it. She shared it.
Aww.
She did share it, and she said she met 2 beautiful sisters at the race.
That's so cute.
I know. I took a screenshot of it. I have it. Core memory. And then I decided to take it a step further. So I was like, okay, so now we're kind of like connected.
Borderline getting creepy here, but
no, not that way. Like, because she shared my story, I now, like, she can see, like, if I message her, right? So we've connected on the social media. So I DM'd her, and I thanked her again for taking time out of her day to have a conversation with us and meet us. I said that she's an inspiration. I really, like, look up to her and love following her health journey. And then I said, I'm trying to get faster. Do you have any advice for me? I would greatly appreciate it. No response yet. But I was like, why the fuck not? I don't care if she doesn't give me an answer, right?
Yeah.
No answer is an answer. But, you know, what if she does say something?
Okay, I'm going to food for thought, okay? Because this whole lesson is built on shoot your shot, which respectfully, that's awesome. But you have to think about the other side. In this case, I would be thinking about the other side. I've had conversations with people, and they hate having to say no. It's a sour feeling.
Okay, but learn to say no. No is a complete sentence. You don't have to explain yourself. No, period. That's it.
Yeah, but sometimes it's not your place to decide if that is something that they need to deal with in that moment in time, you know? So, there's a fine line. I think
there's
a
balance
lesson.
in everything.
Boundaries is what we would call it.
And it's this case-by-case situation, right? Like, I am not going to follow up with her. I'm not going to ... Do you have... I'm not going to keep pestering her, right?
Right.
It was like a thank you, and by the way.
Yes.
But I'm not going to pursue it anymore.
Okay.
I think knowing when to stop is
and
good.
There's like a give and a take, right? Like if you're taking and then you're taking, but there's not really much for you to give, then also respect that, like, give one, take one. So, I don't know. And
in that situation, like, she finished the race way early.
Oh,
and she hangs out. So it's like, okay, if you didn't want to be approached by people, you would not be hanging out. So
no,
like,
she wanted to talk to people.
Exactly. So
not to dog on her in any way, but I think it is also a little bit of a publicity thing. Like,
it is, yeah. I mean, it's both.
It shouldn't be viewed as that. If you're listening to me, girl, I'm sorry.
She's not.
Okay.
She will never. We're realist here. She will never listen. I can make a video and I can tag the shit out of her, and she will not even.
That's hilarious.
Love her, but yeah, no. And that's where we said, read the room, shoot your shot, and, you know, kind of know when to, like, say no.
I really do hope the friend that I'm talking about is listening to this.
He's not.
That's fine. If someone says no, do not pester them and ask why, and do not interview them. Don't do that.
But earlier, I literally just said if they say no. I think it's okay. I think you have to read the room. I think it's a case-by-case basis. If someone says no, I think it's totally fine to ask why not.
How can we say or educate what is that case-by-case?
You can't. It's like people have to have the emotional intelligence to know.
I feel like you can teach someone to be emotionally intelligent.
No, I think it's a live and learn. I don't think so. I think you learn through experience.
We'll circle back.
Another podcast
we'll see
idea.
if we can teach you.
And it's one of those things where I did try to have a conversation with him, and I did try to, like, teach him, and he's one of those that doesn't want to change, doesn't want to actually learn.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So these are the lessons that he learned through his rejection therapy. 1, handling rejection is a muscle. If you don't constantly work outside your comfort zone, you'll lose it and you'll become weak and timid. Number 2, rejection is a numbers game. Fight through enough no's and you'll eventually find a yes. Number 3, avoiding rejection doesn't mean you avoid failure.
Preach.
You can fail without even trying. Not trying can be considered a failure.
Yes. Preach.
Yeah. Most people believe avoiding rejection is a good thing. By avoiding something bad, we've dodged a bullet and we are somehow net positive. That's not true. When we shy away from rejection, we reject ourselves and our ideas before the world ever has a chance to reject them. This is the worst form of rejection, and as default, we are ignored by the world.
Ooh, spicy.
Like I said, he is so articulate and he's so great to listen to. Highly encouraged, watch the TED Talk or watch his the little clips. Like I said, I will link them and it will take you to a webpage and you can click on literally any one that you want to watch. And they're like anywhere between like a minute and like 6 minutes.
I dream of being as articulate as some of the people that we look into and talk about.
You have to read books.
Okay.
Reading really does help with that because you read how other people talk and then you start speaking that way.
Yeah, okay.
And then it's just practice.
I'll start reading.
You tell people that you dabble in retail therapy. We have a whole episode on how to speak more articulate and eloquently.
I love it.
But I mean, I think the weekly wow is obvious. Like, shoot your shot.
Well said.
Don't be ignored by the world.
Period. It's a song.
Is it? Shoot your shot?
No. Period.
I don't know it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Bye.
Bye. God damn it, I didn't want this to be long.